Hello, it's me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. How is everyone? I've already done, there's a lot going on this week, by the way. Hope I'm not yelling, but there's a lot going on. We have Mercury in retrograde, we have the solar eclipse season starting, and a solar eclipse happening. I have done a video in detail explaining the solar eclipse and how it will feel for you and the horoscopes. I've also done a video on Mercury retrograde. So I will link those videos for you. Mercury retrograde is creeping upon us and it is pre-shadow phase. And let me know how your week is going with that energy already. Also, I want to say that I have a newsletter that I give out once a week. It explains the energy in detail. So look out for that. Sign up for that. Not look out for that. Sign up for that. Also, I did a tarot pick a card reading. So that is available for you to see as well. Also, I have availabilities for one-on-one readings. I will not reach out for you for one-on-one readings. So if you ever get spammed for that, and it's really interesting. I really found a lot of that on TikTok, but that's another story. Yes, so I have already done Pisces and Aries video, and now this is a video on everything Taurus. Okay, we are doing a video on everything Taurus. Everything on Taurus, okay? All of Taurus energy. So let's get started. First, Taurus season starts April 20th to May 20th. There's cups energy with that. I'm going to do a separate video on cups. Sorry, cups babies. It's really that week before and after where you have the blended energy. And my husband is on a cusp, so I deal with that a lot, trying to figure him out. But it doesn't matter. Once you get into the birth chart, all that doesn't matter, okay? The zodiac sign for Taurus is the bull. The ruling planet is Venus. I'm going to explain everything. I'm just going to jot this down and put this up. Polarity is Scorpio. The mode is fixed. The element is earth. I am going to go into detail on all of this, so don't panic. The symbol is the bull. It's a stubborn, but yet it can be gentle at the same time. There is a glyph, and that is the symbol of Taurus, and it represents the horn and head of the ball. It also outlines the chin and Adam's apple of a human throat, because that is what Taurus body rules. Its symbolic terms, cup represents a half moon, and the rest of the circle is the sun, right? And it's connected. And then it's saying it represents material power and wealth. And that's what you get with that symbol. Taurus colors, green, purple, blue, mauve, the soft colors of refinement and gentleness. Come on, Taurus. The gemstone is emerald. And an emerald is to protect against infidelity and deceit. It ensures loyalty and improves memory. Again, the body parts that Taurus rules is the neck and throat. Taurus people have beautiful and speaking and singing voices, because it rules the neck and the throat, but they also have colds and laryngitis and sore throats and thyroid problems. So you get that, the good and the bad, the yin and yang, okay? With Taurus people, their lucky number is 6 and 4. Their day of the week is Friday, which is very Venus as well. Top traits is reliable, sensual, and persistent. Their cities, Dublin and St. Louis. Countries, Ireland, Switzerland, Cyprus, and Greece. Their flowers is violets and poppies. And I do find a lot of Taurus people who have a lot of Taurus placements, they love purple, okay? I haven't really met a lot of Taurus who don't like, they love purple. And it's really violet, right? The trees is cypress and apple tree. Metal is copper. The animal is ruled by Taurus or cattle. Why they are here is to build a solid foundation that is lasting and savory. Savor life fully to its fullest. So they're here for solid foundations and to savor life. Their key phrase is I produce. Their dominant word is I have. Okay, so that is the beginning and the intro of Taurus. And let's get into the nooks and crevices, okay? Let's get all up in it and get deep into Taurus energy. Taurus is one of the earliest zodiac sign. We already did Aries, the beginning of the year, spring equinox video. And now Taurus is second. And it is believed to originated with the bull worshiping in ancient times and often called the Great Bull of Heaven. Taurus falls in the middle of spring, hence why it is a fixed sign. Any sign that is in the middle of each season is a fixed sign. It is the second sign after Aries, which I said. Taurus bull is strongly linked to fertility, growth, correlation with the beginnings of spring and in blooming of life. You always find bulls relaxing in nature, surrounded by peace and quiet, just enjoying life, okay, in all its glory with all its senses. Taurus is, I said the gemstone, and the gemstone represents prosperity as well. It also is the color that represents wealth. Other stones they can have is rose quartz and sapphire and amber and aventurine. I don't know if I ever said that right. And garnet. Okay. Trying to get detailed because that's what a Taurus would do. Okay. Trying to live in my earth energy. Now, Taurus, like I said earlier, is ruled by Venus. What does that mean? Each sign is ruled by a planet. And the planet that is ruled by Taurus is Venus. Aries, which we've already done, is ruled by Mars. Pisces, which we've already done, is ruled by Neptune. Now there is classic astrology and there's different astrology, so you may hear it differently from other people. This is what we're doing over here, okay? And this is more Placidus astrology. Venus was the Roman goddess of sex, love, fertility, and beauty. Venus is the sign of destiny, and it's all about pleasure and attraction. Remember that word attraction, okay? Venus embodies our ability to fail, move with grace, and love freely. She affects our ability to make money, appreciate ourselves and others, and our enemies, okay? Venus is all about love. Yes, I said enemies. When Venus is challenged, it would become highly critical of ourselves and others. Tact and food also with Venus. This planet draws us to the finer things of life and to the people who make us feel loved with intensity. Venus energy causes us to lust for life's pleasures and to seek them out. We'll get more into Taurus with that energy. She also has things to say about our ideas of self, worthiness, money, sweet things, banks, and so on. Venus is about our money. Okay, so how do we spend it? Venus in astrology is full of warmth. It's a very warm planet as well, and it's very symmetrical in the way it's designed, the planet. And it's like the most symmetrical planet of all the celestial beings. That says a lot, and we'll get more into that. It influences, will keep you preoccupied with enjoying yourself. You'll be drunk on your feelings and love with food, people, hallucinations, if you allow Venus to seduce you in its way. However, when you go too far with Venus indulgence, you lose balance, and it's a very slippery slope with Venus. Mood swings rules along with impulsivity, changing your mind about everything. Venus is supposed to help us with balance. Okay, so imagine when you're when you're in balance. Okay. It helps balance our whole lives, physical, mental, and spiritually. It helps us be aware of what we need to do to remain a whole, healthy individual. You may be lazy with Venus because it does like to indulge. Venus is also very charming, and there's creativity, and there's the life of the finest things. Venus has conflict of outer beauty and poses versus practicality and the use of beauty. The goddess of romance is all about love in all forms. When you have Venus, Venus is the polar opposite of Mercury. Okay? So just think about Mercury and the energy of intelligence. And Venus is like, but how do we feel? Venus represents this symbol of a circle and indicating the divine spirit above a cross, referring to practicality and physical matter. The symbol brings the divine to earth. When you see that Venus symbol, Venus is the planet again of love, sex, fertility, prosperity, desire, beauty, artistry, creativity, satisfaction, and gratitude when it comes to all traits. Venus can also show you towards greed and indulgence, and depending on where you are in where it is in your birth chart. So be aware of that. Venus oversees not just Taurus, but it oversees Libra, and the signs have always had issues coexisting together. Just because they rule the two doesn't mean they really like working with each other. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, while Libra is an air sign. And one is physical and practical, while the other is more concerned with beauty and in all expressions and people and situations. So there is different energy, even though it's ruled by the same planet. Taurus Venus might want a practical, like lasagna, like, ooh, give me a hearty lasagna, where a Libra Venus will go on and on about the chocolate and the wine. Okay, two different things. One is like, get me full, like what's practical, and Libra is like, take me to the finest wine ever. Okay, so there's still some practicality with the Venus in Taurus, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. They make great cooks, lovemaking artists, and gardeners. And because of the Venus traits, it also makes Taurus the most loyal and supportive of all friends. Okay, so if you have a Taurus friend, just enjoy them. But we'll get into it. If you're like, I don't feel this way, stay tuned. Okay. Because of Venus, they appreciate honesty above all, and they have little tolerance for conflict and criticism and emotional blackmail. Also, Taurus energy be with that Venus is very great at hosting parties, and they pay attention to every detail when hosting an event. They're perfectionists and their organization traits. And they can do any project and make it look nice. Taurus is the most sensual sign of the zodiac, naturally drawn towards indulgence and the richness of life. They have a healthy appreciation for simple pleasures. Their taste is very supreme and elegant. None of this fake crap, okay? They're not into that. It's quality over quantity for Taurus. They have an eye for what is valuable because of that Venus with Taurus. And Taurus and Cancers are the only signs really dealing with money and how they are with money signs. And Taurus represents the material possessions. So where Cancers is more like, I need security. Same vibe, different energy. Okay. Venus represents the social side of Taurus as well. Although shy and reserved with strangers, Taurus is just great at home and hosting events and hosting trips, and they're really great with that energy. So now let's talk about their modality, which is fixed. And fixed is in between each season. It's right in the middle, and it doesn't want to budge. It doesn't want to move. Fixed energy is considered stable and persistent and reliable, stubborn and resistant to change. Now, because fixed signs, which I will put the fixed signs up here, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio. and they're all in the middle of each season, and they all represent the stability and persistence and resistance to change. And Taurus is known for being stubborn, even though all of those fixed signs are stubborn in their way. Taurus is really known for being stubborn because Taurus energy is not just fixed, but is an earth sign. And earth loves routine, okay? They're like, do not change already. And then you add that fixed energy, it just comes off as stubborn, okay? They don't really give up. They despise when someone gives up. They like to think 10 steps ahead because they want the stability and not to change. Because they prepared so much is where you have a problem. They're like, no, I prepared for this. What do you mean there's change? That freaks them out. They fail to see the bigger picture due to their stubbornness. They don't like changes or surprises, okay? Have you ever tried to surprise a Taurus? Well, I've seen it try to happen, and they will sneak and read your emails because they hate surprises that much that they will sabotage the surprise and pretend that they're surprised because they are so calculated. What else? They can follow the same routine for years without feeling any wrong with it. Taurus is conditioned to question everything they do and second guess every new activity they pick up. Are usually realistic, but they fear of change can prevent them from standing back after falling, standing back up after falling because they're stubborn and they don't want to admit that they fail. I find that Taurus energy doesn't even like to apologize because that is a sense of failure as well. And because they don't like to apologize, because they're fixed and they're stubborn and this is not how they planned it and it didn't go the way that they planned. So you have all that energy with the fixed energy, but they're very driven and they complete the job and they're very reliable. So again, you have the yin and the yang with that fixed energy. Fixed energy is very important. It is essential to our lives and to the planet Earth and to us because we need people to be consistent and to be responsible and reliable. I have a lot of mutable energy and cardinal energy, so I need balance in my life of earth and fixed. So I welcome it, even though it's not really like my day-to-day natural self. I'm working on that though. Everyone's a work in progress. Okay, so let's talk about earth energy because that was the modality. And now we're going to talk about the element. And it is in the element of earth. And the earth element is very slow. Again, I said I have Mars and Venus and Gemini. So Earth is slow for me, okay? After the first rush of spring, it's time to take it back. Because we had the Aries. We just left Aries, and Aries is moving fast. And then Taurus is like, slow it down. Earth sign wants us to know what they can produce and create in life. And it's a sign of builder when you have it in a zodiac. Builder and artist when it's in a zodiac. They teach us how to manage our finances, earth energy, and reach ultimate heights. This is all earth energy, Capricorn, Virgos, and Taurus, okay? Earth signs can follow the same routine for years, and they are happy with that, okay? Taurus people are a great asset in climbing the corporate ladder because they have patience, and that is very earth energy. Taurus don't work as hard because they prefer to relax instead of having some fun activities, which we had that Venus, more Venus energy, but they will take their time and have patience because they're all about that material gain. Too much determination can turn into an obsession, more with Taurus and the earth energy. And this obsession can go either way. Either their work and they're perfectionists or they're pleasure-seeking procrastinators. That's how that works out for them. It's very logical. And because they built their thoughts on facts and realistic perspectives, and that is what you get with a lot of earth signs, practicality, logic, and grounded energy. So a lot of people seek their advice. I know I like seeking Taurus advice. I love to hear what a Taurus has to say about a personal matter, because of the very logical way of thinking. They're great listeners and they're very loyal to their friends. So they're going to give it to you straight up and help you and nurture you as well. I feel like they have that energy. So Taurus is not really compatible with air. They're like, what are y'all doing just butterflying around here? Why are y'all just floating with the air, just going with you? No. They're like, stay grounded, put both feet on the ground. Okay. I would think that they almost look down, frown upon, very negative. Think that they're less than kind of energy. To find balance though, Taurus, because they're so earth and fixed, they need air signs around. Just like I said, I have all this air with me and no earth. I need earth around. So the same with Taurus. If you got a lot of earth placements, you need the air to balance you out. And earth energy, they also loved nature and being around nature and plants. And I used to, my niece is a Taurus, and we used to go for walks. And every time we would go for a walk, she would always grab something, a rock, a stick, every time. And it wouldn't be her, just her for the walk. It would be my kids and my nieces and nephews. But no, she would be the one, the only Taurus to grab it all. She just had to always grab something from the ground. And it's very Taurus of her. Also, too, Taurus in earth energy loves to stay home because they like the stability. They like the same routines. So they come off as homebodies. Okay. Now let's talk about earth. And they're very home with nature. So they might like to be in nature a lot. That's the way you get them out. Okay. Let's talk about the second house. And I didn't do this with the other zodiac signs, so I'm going to have to do a whole video on houses. But we're just going to talk about the second house with Taurus energy. And Taurus and Venus rules the second house. And the house of, we just left the house of the ego and the I, and which is Aries, and the key word is I am. And we have our sense of self-worth from there. But now, what else do we have? Like, our mom gave us birth, and now we're like, wait a minute, these things that my mom gave me, my fingers and my toes, this belongs to me. I'm not attached to my mom anymore. And it's not just I. Now I need to go out in the world and gather things. So that's where we are with the second house. It represents personal security. And it looks different for everyone. So, for example, a Gemini in the second house, their personal security may be knowledge. And a Pisces in the second house, their general security would look like spirituality. Where are they in their spiritual beliefs? The second house also serves as guidelines indicating the kind of inherent faculties and capabilities which we can develop through how we gain a greater sense of self-worth. Our substance, our soil, which we can be tied to productivity. So, for example, if you have a Mars or an Aries in the second house, a person might actualize along the lines of courage and directness and ability to know what one wants and how to get it. So the capabilities of getting things is what you would get, and the productivity in the second house. The second house also says what we value and hope to gain in life, because the Taurus is all about achieving things in life to have a better life. Like, this makes me successful because I've achieved the great job, the family, the home, and now I just want to keep it with my fixed energy because this means I've made it. I am successful. And these things turn into what you value. The second house is known for its possessions, personal wealth, and security. It aligns perfectly for Taurus because they love earthly pursuits and worldly pleasures. And Taurus energy is here to teach us how to appreciate worldly pleasures and materialistic energy. I know it seems very off balance because we are if you are in America, it's a consumer world already. So we're really over this side of the energy of materialism. But the Taurus energy is to say, you know, have the balance, first of all, and to appreciate the earth, appreciate the sun, appreciate a walk with the flowers, you know, appreciate having a home, appreciate your home. You know, appreciate your car, appreciate the things that you have and you worked hard for. Don't forget, it's also about our resources and saving money and retirement savings and short-term and long-term goals. Now let's talk about the polarity. And the polarity of Taurus is Scorpio. And Taurus is the sign of property and money, which we would discuss. And it puts high regard on collecting possessions and are known to cling to what is theirs. While Scorpio, up there on the opposite side of the chart, is the sign of legacy and shared wealth. They want to share what they have. The wealth of Scorpio people tends to be spiritual rather than material. And it's not just the physical, they want it internally, right? Which gives them the others, which give to others in the form of teaching, writing, and in the healing arts. And we can learn from all our polarity signs. If you have Mars and Taurus, look into Mars and Scorpio. How do they do things? It always helps and brings a balance to your life. Okay, so Taurus, just in general, some general information I have for Taurus. That's the other thing. Scorpio knows it's going to end because they're all about transformation. And Taurus is like, we never want it to end, even though it's still fixed, Scorpio. But they're about the transformation. They're about the growth. And stubborn Taurus can learn from that. They're into all the senses, Taurus. So if you take them somewhere where it smells good, the food is good, the scenery is amazing, and it's so comfortable. That is the best place for Taurus because they're here to gather all the senses with that Venus energy. Taurus are also usually very generous to strangers and loved ones, very loyal to loved ones, which you get from the Taurus. On the other side of that, they become very jealous and possessive and not only just want to hold on to things, but hold on to people. And that just is from fear, right? They value family and their parents and siblings. So when you talk to someone with Taurus energy and are like, I would never let anyone do that to my brother. Of course. I would never not spend time with myself. Of course, you know, they are ride or die for family. Young Taurus children, they pay attention to all the family members. Okay, love them all. And also they're very consistent. They're straightforward thinkers, not complicated beings, really. Hard to shake their faith in anything they believe in. Taurus need a lot of time. Rushing them would probably backfire. So if you give a Taurus a suggestion, they're like, what I think is better. Don't argue with a Taurus. They acquire things. They may be a hoarder or a collector, usually of beautiful things, right? Very laid back sign because they have heaps of patience and don't like to be rushed. Movement is not high on their priority. Imagine being married to a Taurus and trying to get them to move out the house. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of work. They really go off on a tangent. Their greatest fear is that other people will find out that they're jealous because, you know, they want to act like they have it together with that confidence. They're really fascinated with all things new age, and they don't want people to know that. But they're aware that the new age is happening. Things are new. So there is this energy of that too. They have a temper, even though it's rarely shown, but they have a temper. Their happy place is their home, and it has to be beautiful and have great food and very comfortable. They don't really display their feelings that much if you don't know them and if you're not close to them. Also too, they're closed off to new people because of that fixed energy. But once you get to know them and break down a wall, they're fine. They don't have random friends. They only have close friends. I find out with Scorpios and maybe Cancers and Taurus. Okay. They are deeply sensitive. Harsh words could be very upsetting to Taurus, and with strangers, they also feel very self-conscious. Okay, so let's talk about Taurus tarot. And I'm going to go over a list of words also to describe Taurus. But let's talk about their tarot card, which, you know, I'm not just an astrologer, but I am a tarot reader as well. So I love tying both of them all the time, which they do very much relate. Now, the Taurus tarot card is the Hierophant, and a Hierophant is about learning and traditions and spirituality, and it's the knowledge of teachers who can help reach people to a higher truths, right? So you have like two people sitting there trying to learn, and then a Hierophant is teaching them, and they're teaching them true traditions and true beliefs, and they're not superficial. This Hierophant, it's not superficial, and it learns the souls can lead you to the heart of the matter, and reveals important life lessons, the Hierophant. And it also represents, did I say, spirituality and conformity, right? And the crown communicates that he holds position of authority, like a Taurus, right? Like a boss, because Taurus gives very leader, boss energy, and a reliable and a trusted source of information, the Hierophant. And the stones columns behind the Hierophant symbolize the stability and his presence and message. And it echoes dependability, stubbornness, of course, because it believes in the traditions. It's very representative of the second house and the self-worth, because you're dealing with stability and not changing, and tradition and staying the way that you do things. So like if I pull the Hierophant and someone's like, should I change? And I pull the Hierophant card, it would be like, no. Stick to the way you do things traditionally is what I would get out of that, or seek spiritual traditional advice. So yes, okay, so now we have Taurus decadence, which I'm going to talk about the tarot of that, but the decadents are just broken up into three parts of each sign. People are born in different types of the weeks, different parts of the weeks of each sign. There are three decadents in each sign, 1, 2, and 3. There is the first week, which is April 20th to April 30th, and that's decadent 1. The sub-ruler, because each decadent has a sub-ruler. So you have the Taurus sun sign, and if you are born in the first week between April 20th to March 30th, you are decadent 1. Okay, I'm hoping I'm really explaining this with clarity. And your sub-ruler is Venus, which is also your main ruler. So you're just major Taurus, okay? And your keywords is acquisition and manifestation. You're very charming, artistic, and materialistic. If you are born under this week, your tarot card is the 5 of Pentacles, because you're dealing with resources, and because you're materialistic, a lot of resources are coming, losing. So financial loss, poverty, lack mindset, isolation, recovery, if you have it on the reverse side, and financial loss and spirituality, spiritual poverty as well, with the 5 of Pentacles, and Pentacles is earth energy. Okay, so that is the first decadent. Now we have the second decadent. If you are born May 1st to May 10th, your sub-ruler is Mercury, and Mercury, just like Venus, it rules over 2 planets, and it rules over Virgo and Gemini. But when I say Mercury with the second decadent, it's more Virgo energy, okay? And your keywords is teacher and evaluation. And you're very inquisitive and organized with that Virgo. Mercury, Virgo, and you're very detailed, and mental powers are very strong for you, but you meddle too much. So be aware of that, people born under this energy. Now, your tarot card is the 6 of Pentacles, and it's very successful, and you're very giving and receiving, and you share your wealth, and very generous, and there's charity there because you have that Virgo energy, which is very self-sacrificing, and there's self-care with Virgo energy. Unpaid debts is what it looks like if you are imbalanced, okay, in one-sided charity. Also is what you have when you have bad aspects and imbalance. Now, the third decadent of Taurus season is May 11th to May 20th, and your sub-ruler is Saturn, which is Capricorn, earth energy, right? And it's very determined and very natural. Okay, very natural, very stable, reliable, too serious. With the Capricorn energy is very, very serious, but very observant. Okay, Seven of Pentacles is what you get with this, and Seven of Pentacles is, he's like sitting there like, he plants his seeds and he's like, okay, when is it growing? And you can get unfulfilled energy and disappointment with this, but when I pull this card, I see someone who has the patience and they're reaping what they sow, and it's a long-term view and it's sustainable results. Perseverance is really the word I would see. Investments. On the negative is they lack long-term vision and their limited success or reward is what I get on the lack. Okay, so those are the three decadents that we have under Taurus. I have some random stuff here. Taurus at work, again, is very hardworking and determined. They shine at work and they work hard and on certain projects, and they're very ambitious and they have tenacity. Could be a little competitive, okay? Very disciplined, very punctual, even though they don't like to rush. But if they have the schedule and they stick to the routine, they're good. If there has some bad aspects there, then, you know, that's not very balanced. It's rare to see a Taurus not be punctual or missing any details because they are too laid back or not focused. Very creative artistically in a workplace, can make things very beautiful in a workplace in a very practical manner. Have somewhat abstract way in thinking, allowing them to be creative and make exciting art. They're very disciplined. Even if they are an artist, they're very disciplined. So they're going to do their art every day. Okay, if they say they're going to do it, they're going to do it every day. They have great musical taste. Their art is very classy. The jobs that they can do is they can be a chef, a restaurant manager, because they are Venus and you're dealing with indulgence and taste and all the senses. It could be an interior designer, a banker, financial advisor, because we're dealing with money when we're dealing with Taurus. And when we have transits happening in the second house, then we're starting to see some money going on here. Agriculture, again, because we're dealing with nature and earthly matters. Politician, leader, because they are leaders, okay? And too, you have the details that we have. Singer, composer, because we have that throat and neck energy. Musician, makeup artist, again with the beauty, or beauty blogger, pet sitter, ballet dancer, fashion model, our construction worker, builder, potter, furniture maker. Did I say gardener? Naturalist, farmer, singer, comedian, and jewelry maker and art dealer. So those are the jobs that you have for some Taurus energy. What they need to avoid is being overly indulgent, laziness, materialisticness, and the fear of change. They need to avoid those things. They have a tendency to get involved in violent situations that have to do with their love or money because they're so scared of letting go and they fear the change. You got to let it go, sis, okay? And Mr. and sis. Okay, so because they're stubborn and possessive, they start to be antagonistic, okay? But let's talk about some likable traits of Taurus. They're very dependable, they're loyal, they're honest to a fault, intelligent, dedicated, hardworking, homebody, rational, grounded, perseverance, aesthetics, beautiful aesthetics, very natural aesthetics too, very sensuous, chilled, responsible, stoic. I'm sorry if I yelled at. Practical and devoted. We have some negative traits, of course. They're stubborn and obsessive and fussy, greedy and possessive. Taurus energy, they love luxury and comfort and music and art and romance and cooking and food, gardening and working with their hands and fancy lifestyles, and they dislike unexpected changes and drama and complications and insecurity and synthetic material. Fashion Nova, Taurus placements. If you're wearing Fashion Nova, you're not living in your your true self, okay? Because that's not how a Taurus energy would like. They don't like that. It's not comfortable. It's itchy and it's fake, okay? It's fast fashion, and you want long term, long everyday routine fashion. Quality is what they like. Taurus women, if I can use some words to describe Taurus women, they're true, they're romantics, very serene, unaffected, sexy, artistic, good-natured, yet with the elegance and taste. I find Taurus people to be very classy, okay? Goals when it comes to class is what I look at Taurus. Now, Taurus men, very sensual, very strong-willed, sensible. You can depend on them. They're very loyal, very affectionate, kind, and faithful, with a fine, understated sense of humor. Taurus energy is funny. Okay. Now, famous celebrities who are Taurus. We have Luther Vandross, Sherry Shepherd, Cedric the Entertainer, Cher, Jay Leno, Gigi Hadid, Kelly Clarkson, Janet Jackson, Barbara Streisand, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, Black China, Lizzo. And I even added some quotes that are very Taurus energy. Like Lizzo said, I'm like Chardonnay, get better over time, which is, they like to take their time. Also, the classiness and the luxury of that statement. Also, if I'm shining, everyone's going to shine. I was born like this. Don't even gotta try is a lyric she has, because it is almost effortless for a lot of Taurus, even though behind doors they're being very obsessive and working really hard, but it comes off to me very effortless. Jessica Alba, who built a brand on natural products, right? Very Taurus energy. She is a Taurus. And my theory is that if you look confident, you can pull off anything, because they want to look confident even if they're not looking confident. Even if you have no clue what you're doing. Very Taurus quote. Also, the secret to using power is not to use it. Just having it is enough. Because of that second house description of Taurus energy, they have to have the power, right? And they need to have it to stay in control, to have that fixed energy, to make sure nothing changed. But her just having that brand is very Taurus, bringing it back to nature. David Beckham is a Taurus. Adele, and Adele's quote is, I don't make music for my eyes, I make music for the ears. And the fact that her voice is very beautiful is very Taurus and Venus. I have insecurities, of course, but I don't hang out with anyone who points them out to me. I'm very Taurus, because they want to come off confident, even though we know that they're insecure. They have insecurities like everyone, and there's some jealousy there. Meek Mill is a Taurus. Megan Fox is a Taurus. And here's some quotes from her. I basically read every book ever written about Marilyn Monroe. You're talking about someone who represents traditional beauty, and Taurus loves a traditional classic beauty, right? And I don't need someone else's power. I obtain my own. Taurus energy loves to be independent as well. That is a word I didn't use for them yet, but they're very strong on independence. Even though they do want a family and a home, whatever they discover success is, but they have to have independence first before getting it all. Tina Fey, who also is funny, right? Because they are comedians. And Sam Smith, beautiful voice. Michelle Pfeiffer, she's gorgeous. Kate Blanchett, also very, I think she's attractive. Chris Brown, a singer. I have a quote from him. Whether it be personal or musical, I just think I'm a walking art piece, just a ball of creativity. That is very Taurus of him to say. I think the key is basically just your determination. As far as an artist is concerned, it's just about your drive and your dream. He's going to be persistent, and he's going to keep going and not give up. Very Taurus energy. Ella Fitzgerald is a Taurus. Master P. Master P is very into his resources, right? Work hard and never make excuses. Very Taurus. Another quote he has is, I want to build a generation of wealth. How much more Taurus could you be? Grace Jones is a Taurus. George Clooney is a Taurus. Audrey Hepburn is a Taurus. Coretta Scott King is a Taurus. Stevie Wonder, great singer, Taurus. Kevin Garnett. Candy Burris, if you know Candice Burris from Housewives of Atlanta. Great singing voice, and it's all about the coin, okay? James Brown, good singer. Malcolm X is a Taurus. Isn't that? I think that's amazing. And Rosario Dawson is a Taurus. An overall Taurus quote is keep going until you get it right, then keep going until you can't get it wrong. And that is very Taurus thing to say, okay? And that is what I have for everything Taurus. I hope you learned something. Let me know if you did. If you have any questions, if you want to know more, I will be doing a separate video on the planet. So Venus will have its own video and we'll get detailed on that. And again, I said I would do separate videos on the houses, but here is all Taurus energy. I hope you learned. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you guys next time. Bye.